In this video, you're going to see my experiences playing as both the Inferno Ravager and the Blitz Striker, two of the new dragons coming with the 1.0 update. The Inferno has just entered testing, while the Blitz is still a little way off from this stage, so keep in mind that what you're seeing still needs to go through a lot of polishing. That said, I was really impressed with how good these dragons feel to play. The Inferno is beefy and strong, you can feel the power in its movements, whereas the Blitz is built to be sneaky. It just makes me want to hide amongst the foliage, though when in the air it is fast and truly at home. Not only did I get to try out the new dragons and experience some weather effects that will be coming to the game, but I also got to directly ask a few questions to the lead developer. I've got a couple of questions.
Sure.
What, aside from the Unreal Engine issues, has been one of the biggest challenges with this update?
I would say probably biggest challenge is every new thing that we have to put in the game, because it's all different. Every time we do something we haven't done before, we have to learn how to do it and then learn how to do it the best way. So like the Inferno Ravager was the first wyvern we put in the game. We had to learn how to do wyverns right. Nobody's seen the hybrid yet, is because the hybrid is a very unique type of dragon that we had to figure out drakes first. That's why the acid spitter came in the game first. And then once we knew how to do legs, head, and tail, then we added wings, and so that's when the shadow scale came in. It's easy for us now to put in drakes and dragons, so the Flamestalker was an easy add. We didn't have problems with the Flamestalker. And the issues that we had on the acid spitter and shadow scale, we're going to go back and fix those for 1.0. So you're going to see updated models for those. You know, the wyvern doesn't have 4 legs, so that presented its own unique challenges that we had to overcome. And that's why we had to scrap the first Inferno Ravager.
Yeah, the model looked great, but it just didn't work when it moved.
No, it had a lot of issues, so we had to scrap all that work and start over again. We did, and the new one is great, as you guys will see in our live stream. And then, you know, the amphitheater, that's something new. So every time we add something new to the game, it's its own unique challenge that we have to overcome.
But it's obviously a evolving process and learning as you go.
Yep.
Is there anything that you thought would be tricky to solve, but proved to be pretty simple?
I would say we had an issue with the wyvern's membranes. Me and Parrot, when we were designing dragons, we could not figure out, was like, why does every dragon game have such small membranes on their dragon wings? So you have like under the arms closest to the body, the membrane is really skinny, and then it gets big as it goes out sometimes. You know, Parrot's like, there's no way that dragon could actually fly. And so we're trying to make dragons that would actually be able to fly if they were real. So big dragons need big wings. You know, we designed them not having any idea about animation, you know, and how it would affect animation. Harley had to figure out a way to make the wing membranes on the shadow scale work. And then once she figured out how to do that, we were able to make it work on the Flamestalker. But that method didn't work on the Inferno Ravager, because the Inferno Ravager's wings don't just sit on its back when it's not flying. It actually uses them to walk. And so we had to figure out something brand new for the Ravager. Our animators were trying all these different things and nothing worked. And I said, what if the membrane, what if we used a blend shape or morph target to shrink the membrane while he's on the ground for ground locomotion, and then expand it when he's flying? And when you play the Ravager later, make sure to look at that, because when he's on the ground, his membrane is shrunken, and then when he flies, it expands. And the way I have it smoothly transition, you don't even notice, but it's cool if you watch it.
I'll have to look out for that, yeah.
It's kind of like how a bat does it with their wings.
Yeah, because obviously a bat's membrane is extremely stretchy, and it makes sense as well. Any of the flying mammals, you get to see that.
Yep, and so that's how we figured that out. And, you know, figuring things out is part of the fun of development.
And as you said, you can then use what you've learned for the future dragons.
Yep.
And last question. You mentioned during the Biolumin stream that caves were made separately and then imported in. Does that mean that some of the caves that we'll find in the Dangerous Doom map might make an appearance in the Mega Map?
That is possible, because with Unreal Engine 5, we're able to make structures separately of the level, and then you can save that as a package, and then you can import that into any other level. So it is very possible that any cave system we make here might show in the Mega Map, or we might make a new one or modify one for the Mega Map.
That's fantastic. I also got to take part in the developer livestream that happened on the 24th of February, where viewers got to ask their questions. Here's what we've learned. The The Inferno Ravager is pure damage. It has 100% fire protection when it has its armour, so watch out for Acid Spitter's decaying bite, but it has little defence against other attack. It still has a decent health pool, but it's going to want to end fights quickly. With the new dragons and the Magma Elemental coming in 1.0, combat and stats are going to be rebalanced. This will happen each time a new group of dragons are added. The Blitz Striker is going to have a growth time about the same as the Shadow Scale, and the Inferno Ravager will be about the same as the Flame Stalker. The Blitz Striker will have a vertical takeoff and, when in a storm, it will have unlimited bile and a higher stun chance. A stunned dragon does have protection from getting re-stunned for a while afterwards, to avoid stun locks. The storms themselves will not strike players with lightning, and there is an epilepsy mode coming to the game that will be on by default to keep everyone safe, though it's easy to turn it off if you want to see the storm in its full glory. The Blitz Striker is a DLC dragon, however you do not need to have the DLC to play it, all you need is to get nested in. The DLC simply gives you access to spawn from the menu without parents, as well as extra emotes. This goes for all DLC dragons. You can currently pre-order the Blitz Striker DLC over on the Day of Dragons website at a discounted price, and your code will be sent to you shortly before the release in 1.0. You can find the link in the description. The model and textures are all done for the feathered Zygovo. However, rigging animation has not yet started. The Zygovo is planned for the 1.2 update. The Singe Crest, on the other hand, has just entered the early animation stages, where they make sure the model will move correctly before it moves on to getting its final animations. The Singe Crest, as well as the unnamed Nurse Dragon, will be coming in the 1.1 update. The devs had wanted to come out of early access with the 1.0 update and the Mega Map, but due to issues with the Unreal 5 engine still working out a lot of kinks with its new build, the devs have decided to hold off till the 2.0 to make sure the map is fully complete and coming out of early access. However, we are still getting all of the upcoming dragons and AI on Unreal 5. It will just be on the new Dunes map for now. Not to worry though, the new map will be larger than the current legacy map, have rivers, a tropical area and caves, as well as more oases to claim and call home. While the mega map is planned to have set biomes, the devs have looked at seasonal changes that could happen in areas such as snow buildup or temperature changes. The devs are also currently working on fully integrated water effects and sounds. Footprints have already been made, and yes, the Blitz Striker will leave a groove. Flying AI is planned in the form of feral dragons, however they are a long way off. The Dune Weaver and the Swamp Snapper, on the other hand, will be new, larger AI to feast on coming in the 1.0 update. Lastly, there is a lot of anti-cheat features coming with 1.0, from both Unreal 5 and custom built. The devs are also working to add more admin features, such as changing the time of day to help server owners have more control over their worlds. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and check out the links in my description to other YouTubers who have also shared their experience with these dragons. See you soon!